Welcome to another peaceful journey through history. Tonight on The Very Boring Historian, we're stepping into the quiet world of 18th century clockmakers, where time itself was crafted with gentle hands and infinite patience. Let the rhythmic ticking of distant clocks guide you into relaxation as we explore the soothing art of measuring time. Picture, if you will, a narrow cobblestone street in London, circa 1750. The morning mist hangs softly over the city, and through a small window with diamond-shaped panes, warm candlelight flickers. Inside, an elderly clockmaker named Thomas sits at his wooden workbench, surrounded by the gentle symphony of ticking timepieces. His weathered hands move with the slow precision that comes from decades of practice, adjusting a tiny brass gear with a delicate touch. The workshop is a sanctuary of calm. Wooden shelves line the walls, filled with completed clocks of various sizes. Some are tall and stately, their pendulums swaying in hypnotic rhythm. Others are small and intricate, their faces painted with delicate flowers and Roman numerals. Each one ticks at its own pace, creating a layered melody of time that would lull anyone into peaceful contemplation. Thomas begins his day, as clockmakers have for generations, by winding the demonstration clocks that fill his shop. He moves slowly from timepiece to timepiece, inserting brass keys and turning them with gentle, measured motions. The springs inside each clock accept the energy gratefully, ready to parcel it out in precise increments throughout the day. There's something deeply meditative about this morning ritual. The way Thomas's movements flow from one clock to the next, each winding requiring just the right amount of pressure, just the right number of turns. The craft of clockmaking in the 18th century was not rushed. It couldn't be. Each component required careful attention. Each gear needed to be filed and fitted with exacting precision. Thomas learned his trade as a young apprentice, spending his first years simply learning to file brass properly, to cut gear teeth that would mesh smoothly with their partners. The master clockmaker who taught him moved with the same unhurried grace, understanding that time cannot be hurried, and neither can its measurement. On this particular morning, Thomas is working on the escapement mechanism of a long case clock. The escapement is the heart of any timepiece, the part that allows the energy stored in weights or springs to be released in regular, measured intervals. He holds a tiny piece of steel, no larger than his thumbnail, examining it through a magnifying glass. With infinite care, he files away microscopic amounts of metal, testing the movement, filing again, testing once more. The process could take hours, but there's no sense of urgency. Time, after all, will wait. The workshop around Thomas tells the story of his craft through its tools and materials. Hand-forged files of various sizes hang in neat rows on the wall. Brass sheets and steel rods rest in organized piles, waiting to be transformed into gears, springs, and pendulums. A small forge sits cold in the corner, its bellows resting until needed to heat metal for bending or hardening. Everything has its place. Everything serves its purpose in the gentle creation of time. As the morning progresses, Thomas begins work on cutting the teeth of a brass gear wheel. This process, known as gear cutting, requires a level of precision that modern machinery makes routine, but which demanded extraordinary skill in the 18th century. Using a hand-filed cutter and a simple dividing engine, Thomas marks and cuts each tooth individually. The metal shavings fall away in tiny curls, accumulating on the leather apron that protects his clothes. The rhythmic motion of his work becomes almost hypnotic, the gentle scraping of metal on metal, joining the chorus of ticking clocks. The apprentice, young William, arrives at his usual time and quietly begins his own tasks. He's learned to move softly in the workshop, understanding that sudden movements or loud noises can disturb the delicate work being performed. Today he's polishing clock faces with a soft cloth and fine abrasive powder, bringing out the gleam in the brass and silver surfaces. The circular motions of his polishing create their own meditative rhythm, complementing the steady work of his master. In the 18th century, clockmakers were part scientist, part artist, and part philosopher. They understood that they were not merely creating machines, but crafting the very framework by which society organized itself. Each clock that left their workshop would govern someone's daily routine, mark the passage of important moments, and perhaps even be passed down through generations as a treasured heirloom. The sound of the workshop changes subtly as the day wears on. New rhythms emerge as completed mechanisms are tested and adjusted. A bracket clock chimes the quarter hour with sweet, silvery notes. A table clock's seconds hand moves with barely audible clicks. Thomas pauses occasionally to listen, his trained ear detecting the slightest irregularity in timing that might require adjustment. The creation of a clock's case was often entrusted to cabinet makers, but Thomas takes pride in doing much of this work himself. The long case clock he's been working on will soon need its wooden housing, and he's already selected the seasoned oak that will become its home. The wood has been drying in his workshop for 2 years, slowly releasing its moisture and stabilizing. When he works with it, shaping it with hand planes and chisels, the sweet smell of oak shavings mingles with the brass polish and clock oil that perfume his workshop. The afternoon light filters through the workshop windows at a different angle now, casting long shadows across the workbench. Thomas lights a candle to supplement the natural light, its steady flame providing the illumination needed for close work. The combination of candlelight and afternoon sun creates a warm, golden atmosphere that seems to slow time itself. In this gentle light, even the most intricate work becomes a form of meditation. The mathematics of clockmaking fascinated 18th century craftsmen. The gear ratios needed to transform the slow, powerful motion of a falling weight into the precise ticking of seconds required careful calculation. Thomas keeps a ledger filled with his computations, pages of neat figures that determine how many teeth each gear must have, how long each pendulum should be, how much weight is needed to power a clock for 8 days. These calculations are performed slowly, checked and rechecked, because a single error could render weeks of careful work useless. As evening approaches, the character of the workshop shifts again. The street outside grows quieter, and the ticking of the clocks becomes more prominent. Thomas begins the process of cleaning his tools, wiping each file and chisel with an oiled cloth before returning it to its designated place. This end-of-day ritual is as important as the morning winding, a way of honoring the tools that make such precise work possible. The apprentice William carefully sweeps the floor, collecting the day's accumulation of metal filings and wood shavings. These materials aren't wasted. The brass filings will be melted down and reused. The wood shavings will kindle tomorrow's fire. Nothing is hurried about this cleaning process. Each tool is handled with respect, each surface dusted with care. The long case clock that Thomas has been assembling stands nearly complete in the corner of the workshop. Its pendulum hangs straight and still, waiting for the moment when it will begin its endless journey back and forth. The weights that will power it rest at the top of their chains, ready to begin their slow descent. Soon, this clock will find its way to someone's home, where it will become part of a family's daily rhythm, marking meals and bedtimes, announcing hours and quarter hours with reliable precision. Before closing his workshop for the night, Thomas performs one final ritual. He checks each of his demonstration clocks, making small adjustments to their regulation, ensuring that tomorrow they will still keep accurate time. The process is methodical and calm, his movements sure and practiced. Each clock receives the same careful attention, from the grandest long case clock to the smallest table timepiece. The workshop grows quiet as Thomas extinguishes the candles one by one. The last light fades from the diamond-paned windows, but the ticking continues, a gentle reminder that time flows on, regardless of human activity. In the darkness, the various clocks create their layered symphony, some ticking quickly, others more slowly, all working together to mark the passage of night into morning. This was the world of the 18th century clockmaker, a realm where patience was not just a virtue but a necessity, where precision was achieved through countless small, careful actions, and where the measurement of time itself was crafted by hand. In our modern world of instant everything, there's something deeply soothing about imagining such deliberate, unhurried work. The clockmaker's craft reminds us that some things cannot be rushed, that true precision comes from patience, and that there's beauty in the steady, measured passage of time. As you drift towards sleep tonight, perhaps you can hear the gentle ticking of Thomas's clocks, feel the peace of his workshop, and let the steady rhythm of measured time carry you into peaceful dreams. The clockmakers of the 18th century understood something we sometimes forget in our hurried age. That time, properly respected and carefully crafted, becomes not a master but a gentle companion, marking our days not with urgency but with quiet, steady grace. Let the soft ticking fade into your dreams, carrying with it the knowledge that somewhere in history, craftsmen worked with infinite patience to give us the gift of measured time, one careful tick at a time.